Well, we officially have the release date for Final Fantasy XIV on Xbox, and that is March 21st. And as a part of that announcement, they said that if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can, through the Perks system, claim the starter edition of Final Fantasy XIV. Now, with this announcement, this got chat going, and several people were kind of thinking this might be a little bit of a scam, and I thought I'd sit down today and weigh in. But the other topic in the same line is we finally have absolute confirmation that the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy will never be coming to the Xbox. It appears that Sony has locked it down, and over on Twitter, we're seeing this conversation going on right now. And honestly, I want to highlight one specific tweet from Alex 2040p here. Says, Sony keeps renewing this exclusivity deal in these little extensions. The first Final Fantasy VII R put an exclusivity expiration date sticker right on the cover. There are absolutely Xbox fans out there that have been strung along with the hope that they really needed to hear that this was never coming 5 years ago. And I agree. Honestly, if there was any bad news today, it's this. And the game also is when they go into the article. If you guys want to go read it, I'll include a link in the description. It goes in to say, like, this is just for the console piece of it. The games will still be coming to PC. And honestly, I think the best way that Xbox fixes this problem is just classify yourself as a PC, open it up to Steam, and bada bing, bada boom, it's done, right? Because we know that it can run on the Xbox. It just doesn't because of deals like this. But the other deal, like I said at the start of this video, Final Fantasy XIV and Game Pass Starter Edition. Now, this is questionable, and whether or not like the more kind of a PSA service announcement for the video itself is that if you purchase this game, if you leave the free trial version of this game, you will have a subscription, and also Game Pass will be required to play on the Xbox ecosystem. This is an issue that affects very few people overall, but there's going to be a couple people who get caught up in this. So if you do have Game Pass Ultimate right now, would I recommend you picking up and using the perks to get the starter edition? The starter edition will give you everything that is included in the free trial. And this is where their free trial system in Final Fantasy XIV is by far the most strange version of a free trial that we've seen. I think it's the most generous, but it is also one of the most strange ones because you can't actually go back to free trial status. As soon as you hand Square Enix money or claim this Game Pass perk, you're going to be locked in with that edition forever. So there's ever a month you want to take a break, or you want to step away, or it's been a long time, you might want to see what's all changed, and you've upgraded from the free trial to the main version, you're kind of out of luck at this point. And that leads me to hope that we're going to see some kind of big changes in the industry moving forward. While I do believe and stand firmly by that the subscription MMORPG is the most fair to the customer and to the developer, I think at some point we're going to see some extra level of subscription fatigue. Who knows if it will happen in the next couple of years, but I do wonder if Microsoft is going to make a tectonic shift with World of Warcraft, and if they bundle that into Game Pass Ultimate, for example, I think you end up seeing a big win. But I think there's a lot of moving parts that have to happen before they make that kind of announcement. We have to see more integration with Battle.net, what their plans are for Battle.net. Battle.net, if you haven't seen, just got added to GeForce Now, so I'm thrilled, as that is making it much easier for me to sit down and enjoy the games that I'm playing. But at the end of the day, I don't think the Game Pass perk here is a scam. I do think it is short, and I do think it is unfortunate, because if they said, for example, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can claim that perk at any time, I think that would be a really good deal. I think that's a really good value for the perk system and for Game Pass and for Final Fantasy XIV. But the simple fact that there's an expiration date creates a level of FOMO, and I do think a lot of people are going to get caught up in that claim, not realizing that they could have just played the free trial and continued to enjoy Final Fantasy XIV subscription free. Because based off the patterns and everything we've seen from Square Enix, is that they're going to add in Shadowbringers to the free trial. They'll add in Endwalker to the free trial. Now, all of this is at some point. So if you're the patient kind of person, you can experience all that Final Fantasy XIV has to offer, with some restrictions, clearly, with the free trial, for free. And that in and of itself, I think, is to be commended. But the lack of the ability to jump between the two kind of states is kind of unfortunate. So that if you claim this perk and then you're like, oh, but I can't sub right now because times are tough, economy's tough. I don't know about you guys, if you're watering down your milk or not, but that's what we talked about on today's live show. Like, life finds ways to mess with you, and subscriptions usually are some of the first things to get cut out of our daily lives. And it's unfortunate, especially if you build your community around that. It's going to be interesting to see the whole level of impact that this has. This officially puts the Xbox version in beta for 1 month prior to the release. And this also, I think, sets them up very nicely for PAX East, to where we're going to see what's next for Dawn Trail, starting to get some live letters and more details about the future of what that all holds for all of this. So it's going to be a fun time regardless, but I'm really excited that we can finally say, here's the official version. So those of you who are patiently waiting for that now have a date. And I think things are going to pick up and really kind of rock and roll from here. But not here to waste your time, guys. Those are just some thoughts that I had, especially off the news today. I do feel for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm loving it. I just stepped into it for the first time. I cannot believe it's been out as long as it has. Time has truly flown by. I'm looking forward to continuing playing that, playing Dragon's Dogma 2, playing Rebirth. So many really great games to play right now. That's also a big factor in where do you put your time when these subscription-based MMOs are competing with like full-fledged, massive single-player games that just seem to be hitting back to back to back, leaving last year all the way into this year. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for spending time with me today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much. If you liked it, hit that like button. And if you didn't like it, that's okay too. Hopefully I will see you guys back in future videos. But until then, take care.